Ciao, Italy! After weeks of planning, visa processing, and a whole lot of excitement, we finally landed in Rome. Schengen visa? Check. Passport stamp? Check. Peep, aka my personal chauffeur, got the car and off we went. So hot? Do you like the car?
It's fine. You don't like it?
I like it. First stop, a reunion 18 years in the making. My Aunt Venus and Uncle Larry flew in for their 12-day cruise, so we met right by the Colosseum. We hugged, laughed, and swapped stories like no time had passed. Then came lunch, because you can't catch up properly without pasta and pizza. Speaking of food, Rome, you had us at the first bite. Pasta that's handmade with sauce you can tell was made from fresh ingredients. Simple but full of flavor. The pizza? Great, but not the best I've ever had. Sorry, Rome. La Luca pizza still holds the crown for my taste buds. But the gelato? Absolute heaven. I could eat it all day, every day, and still want more. The next day, we took the time machine back 2,000 years. The Colosseum is massive, thick tens of thousands of spectators cheering while gladiators fought epic battles. Then Palatine Hill, the birthplace of Rome, with views that make you wonder how this was all built without power tools. Finally, the Roman Forum, once the heartbeat of the empire, now an open-air museum of columns, arch, and history you can almost hear whispering through the stones. We had big plans to see the Sistine Chapel, tickets for 12:30 p.m., and we arrived late. Rome traffic and too much ancient history slowed us down. Lesson learned, if you're doing the Forum and Vatican in one day, give yourself a big time buffer. Instead, we went into St. Peter's Basilica, which is a free entry, jaw-dropping art, and so peaceful inside. No Pope sighting that day, but the place itself is worth the visit. And another advice, Rome in July, hot, like fry an egg on the pavement hot. Thankfully, the city's got free fountains pouring out ice-cold water. It's like drinking straight from the fridge. It was amazing. We came prepared, hats on, sunscreen shuttered, water bottles in hand, but still, phew, it was so hot. So just be mindful. After a quick stroll to Castel Sant'Angelo, we grabbed a few things for Pip's stepsister and hit the road for Giulianova. We decided to take the toll roads to avoid arriving at midnight. to 3 hours later, with the sun setting over the Italian countryside, we were rolling into town, ready for another reunion and after more than a decade apart. We were greeted by Pepe and Gabriel, Mihaila's husband and son, since she was still at work. Pip introduced me and right away I felt at home. When Mihaila came back, we all went out for dinner. It was my first time meeting them.
Buono buono.
Buono buono.
But they were so warm and welcoming, it felt like I'd known them forever. The next morning, we explored their town center and guess what? They live near the beach. We tried porchetta, which is a kind of like Filipino lechon but saltier, delicious all the same. Back home, they cook a pasta dish. I can't remember the name, but wow, the sauce was nothing like a spaghetti I grew up with. Fresh, rich, and unforgettable. We were supposed to leave that day, but they convinced us to stay one more night so we could enjoy the beach. And honestly, who could say no? The weather was perfect, the water was calling, and it was my first time swimming in the sea since moving to the UK, and my first time ever swimming with Pip. Pepe, Gabriel, Pip, and I went to the beach while Mihaila was at work. Even though Pepe doesn't speak English, he still tried to chat with me, which was really sweet. Later, Pip and I cycled along the seafront and the port, ending the day watching the sun melt into the horizon. It was pure magic. Early the next day, we were back on the road. Destination, San Marino. We skipped Florence this time. Don't worry, Florence, we'll be back. We're going here, Repubblica di San Marino. And yes, we don't regret it one bit. It was a 2-hour drive through mountains and yes, more Parausok tunnels. We call it Parausok in my native tongue, Ilocano. San Marino is actually its own country, officially called the Republic of San Marino, and it's the oldest surviving republic in the world. Founded in 301 AD, it's one of the smallest countries on earth, completely surrounded by Italy, but fiercely proud of its independence. We took a cable car up to the historic center, which sits on Monte Titano. And the view was unreal. Rolling hills, medieval towers, and the Adriatic Sea in the distance. It felt like stepping into a fairy tale. We visited the Museum of Illusions, took way too many photos, and just soaked in the charm of this mountaintop gem. After soaking in San Marino's views, it was time for our final stop, Venice. It was about a 3-hour drive, and when we arrived, we checked into our hotel first. We knew parking in Venice was a nightmare and expensive, so we played it smart. Left the car and took a bus and tram straight into the city. Venice is like no other place in the world, a floating city built on more than 100 small islands with canals instead of roads. No cars, just boats, bridges, and those iconic gondolas gliding under romantic arches. The first night, we grabbed dinner and then wandered the cobblestone streets, taking in the glow of the lights reflecting on the water. The air felt softer here, the pace lower. We didn't rush, just enjoyed the beauty, the sounds, and each other's company. The next morning, we decided to see Venice properly. First, we rowed a boat along the Grand Canal, the city's main road, lined with beautiful palaces, colorful facades, and bustling markets. Then we step into St. Mark's Square, the heart of Venice, surrounded by history on all sides. We didn't go inside St. Mark's Basilica, but from the outside, it's already breathtaking. A masterpiece of Byzantine architecture with golden mosaics shimmering above its arches. Nearby stands the Doge's Palace, once home to Venice's rulers and a symbol of the city's political power. Even from the square, its Gothic facade is an artwork on its own. And of course, we crossed the Rialto Bridge, the most famous bridge in Venice, with postcard perfect views of the canal below. Just some advice when you go there, just to be patient whenever you go to take some pictures on the bridge, because there were just so many people. Every time you go, there will be people staying there taking picture and enjoying the view. So just be patient and you'll get the chance to get your own. By the afternoon, it was time to say goodbye. We dropped back our rental car and headed to the airport. Our flight was just past 11 p.m., delayed a bit, and I was so tired. I barely slept on the plane, and when we landed in the UK after 2 a.m., there were no buses yet. So, taxi it was. By the time we walked through our front door, it was nearly 5 in the morning. Exhausted, yes, but also full of memories I'll treasure forever. Italy, you were unforgettable, and I can't wait for the next adventure. Ciao! Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in our next videos. Bye!